Okay. Oh, I need the red thread. Okay, you got it recording right now?
Yep.
Okay. All right, look, so just real quick, I'm taking out this blue thread, and I need to put red thread in the bobbin because this fabric is red. So on the side where you cannot see, it's going to be gold thread, but on the side that you could see, you're going to see the red thread. Okay, so now I'm making the needle go all the way up and start to come down, so I'm disengaging the thread so that I can pull that bobbin thread up, which didn't come up. So I'm gonna try it again. Okay, the bobbin thread, see, I pulled that bobbin thread up, so now the bobbin thread is up. Now I'm ready to sew. So I already had overlocked this. I'll show that in another demonstration how to put this elastic on, but right now the elastic is on, so now I'm just sewing it down. Okay, so I start just a little bit at the back and put a couple of stitches, and then put the needle, always put the needle in the fabric when you're going to move the fabric. So now I'm coming to the halfway mark, which this is the front, and then I'm folding the front over, and then I'm pulling the elastic. Okay, and I got the needle in the fabric. Then after I got it pulled, so that way it's going to sew straight. Okay, so then now I'm pulling it, and then if you see, I'm taking my finger and I'm adjusting it so I can make this fabric stay flat. And then this motor is messed up, although I'm not blaming the motor for my messed up sewing, but it just adds another layer to the complexity of why sewing is so difficult. But it's so much fun. I love sewing, and I just make stuff every day. Almost. Although for every hour of sewing you spend 16 hours of organizing and cleaning up and getting everything ready, cutting the fabric, washing the fabric, going to buy the fabric, all kind of stuff, ironing the fabric. There's a lot of work that's involved in sewing. Hopefully you're able to see that a little bit. And then always put the needle in the fabric when you're gonna make an adjustment. And then again at the end you want to pull the two fabrics through, the two threads through. So I'm gonna pull it through right now. You could pull it through at any juncture. Usually I pull it through when I'm near the end. I just happen to be, but since I'm okay, so now I got the two threads pulled through. That's important, and that's my own idea. Okay, there's a thing later I'll show you this about how to tie the threads. Okay, you can tie the threads rather than back stitching. Now this, it looks like it got a little bit off, not that much, but I didn't pull it quite tight enough. So we're coming to the end right now. Well, we got about a little over a quarter to go, but it's been 3:17. I should be able to sew this faster, probably because I'm talking. So because I think I can sew the waistband in way less than 5 minutes. Uh-oh, the thread broke. Damn. That's one thing about sewing. That's where patience comes in, because, and this thread shouldn't be breaking. It's not that strong, but it's a little bit strong. But that's where the patience come in, because when things are going right, it's easy to sew. But then when things go wrong, like the thread breaks or something, that can stop you. And then sometimes the thread can, as example, the thread could break and then you could fix it, and then it could just break right away again. So it can really test your patience. But if you're patient during when the negative things happen, then you'll be a success at sewing. Okay, so now I got to go back where it was fixed. Okay, and so it's good all the way to right here. Okay, and I'm just gonna, it looks like before the thread broke that a lot of it started coming out, because you could see the gold. Okay, so anyway, I'm just gonna clip both of these clean, and now I'm gonna start back. They say you want to start an inch back where it's good. Okay, and so I'm gonna put the needle in the fabric, and now that I got the needle in the fabric, now I can start adjusting this. So I'm just pulling it the same way I did at the beginning, and then I'm getting it flat, and then I'm taking my finger and just moving it a little bit like that. Okay, good. Just moving it a little like that. Okay, this is going to be done in about less than 2 minutes. After this, I got one more stitch to go, and then this is done. Yeah, so look, I can make the matching tops, like get a top from her. I'm not saying I'm gonna match it with these exact fabrics. I could, but get a top, and then what I'll do is I'll try to make some tops. Okay, I'm not gonna backstitch that because I already stitched over it. But look, I'm gonna disengage the thread, make sure the needle is starting to come up and come down, and now I'm gonna put it at the 1/2 inch. This is the final stitch. Okay, and this stitch is decorative. Okay, it makes it look like elastic where you got, you know, 2 stitches. But the other thing too is putting the second stitch stops the elastic from rolling. If you only have 1 stitch in there, that elastic is gonna roll. Okay, and so I just pull it and sew it at a 1/2 inch. And for some reason, this machine, when you're sewing and you push the foot back, it doesn't exactly stop. Sometimes it's like it keeps on going. But that's just one of the idiosyncrasies that you have to, that when you're sewing, you have to sew at the speed of the feed dogs, and you have to sew based on the idiosyncrasies of the machine. If you sew based on how the machine works, then you'll be a success. But you cannot make the machine sew the way you want. You have to sew the way the machine works. Okay, so it works like that. Like, in other words, you can't tell the machine how to sew. What you do is you just sew the way the machine sews, and then that's the best way. If you don't do it that way, you'll be fighting all the time. So you learn the idiosyncrasies of the machine, and then you do with me. Okay, so that's that. So that's finished. 720. So I should be able to do this in half that time, just so you know. Okay, out.